Hey everyone, it's Kelly with Women for One, and I'm here today with my new Consciousness Catalyst fellow Northwesterner friend, Molly McCord.
Hello.
Hi, nice to see you again.
Yes, so happy to be here.
Yeah.
Love talking with Kelly. Happy to be here.
So today we're going to have a first in a series of conversations about things Molly and I love. And the first thing we want to talk about, and we want to include you in this conversation, we want to get emails from you, any kind of feedback, any thoughts you have on things we want to be speaking about and subject matter that matters to you, is getting real and the power of getting real with the most important person in your world, which is you. So, how do you define getting real?
Oh, I love this topic. This is so important because especially as you go on your spiritual journey, this is where you go. You go into yourself, you go into knowing yourself and getting real. And that's not always pretty and it's not always fun, but it's so meaningful and it's so important. And so what I love about getting real is how you start to see the wholeness of yourself and the vastness of yourself and all the layers of yourself. Mm-hmm. And I think that now is the time that so many people want this. So if you are feeling this right now, Kelly and I love this topic. If you're really feeling drawn to getting more real with yourself, you're going to love our series and you're going to love the fact that now is the time to do this work and to understand how beautiful you are in your realness.
Yeah, and I know, I would say it's been almost 10 or 11 years. I was trying to live a life that wasn't real.
Yeah.
I thought it was. It was the idealized image of what I thought real was, which was I grew up in a household, like many of us, that aren't real. It was pretty dysfunctional.
Yeah.
And most of us do.
Yeah.
We just pretend we don't.
Right. Or we see it later. You see it later.
Like, woo! And so I decided to go the opposite way. I said I was never going to get divorced. I said, I'm never going to do anything bad. I'm going to be a great mom because I didn't feel like my mom lived up to my standards. And I woke up one day about 10 years ago and was like, who am I?
Yeah.
Why am I doing this? This is this plastic life that I wasn't congruent on the inside with my outside, if that makes sense.
Right, absolutely.
I felt lost and disempowered, and my brain was cluttered. So, I kind of worked my way through it in a very messy way. Looking back, I probably would have changed the way I did some things, but I got divorced. I started doing some work on myself and just started getting real about who I wanted to be, and for my kids, for me, if that makes sense.
Absolutely.
Did you ever have anything in your life like that?
Absolutely. I had this whole idea of what life was going to be like, or what I wanted, what I was going to do, and all of that. It only got me so far because that wasn't real. That wasn't the true source of my happiness. I was on the job track, that professional track that we get on where you get your degree and then you get a job and you get a raise and you go down this, what I would consider a Western civilization idea of success. And then you stop at some point and you wonder, is this really what it's all about? Is it the job title? Is it the money? And you think, no, this isn't fulfilling. This isn't getting me where I want to go. And so I think I've had numerous times in my life where I realized this isn't it. And so just like what you shared, Kelly, it's like you go into these places of yourself that are a little bit more messier, but that really help you understand, well, what makes me happy? What do I really want? And you start to question and you start to go deeper into yourself. And I also, I've done the work a lot of different times in my life. We do work, inner work, and it takes you into more of your own realness. And so it's ongoing. It's by no means, there's no finish line. You keep going with it. Different layers. But what I would love to know, Kelly, is where did you find yourself getting real the most? Like what type of work connected you with who you really discovered yourself to be?
It's funny you ask that because, there's places in me where I think about that and I think, well, some of it was hitting rock bottom, but I don't always believe you have to hit rock bottom like a lot of people talk about. Like you have to go to all the way to the depths. We can do our work anytime. We can set the intention to do any type of work whenever we want to do it with any situation, a small situation or a large situation. Obviously, my divorce and the death of a dear friend really propelled me into looking at why I want to be on this planet and what I wanted to give to my children and what kind of values and principles that I wanted to live by. And then also, like, what kind of partner did I want? If I was walking away from a marriage, which was really a difficult decision, why? And why did I do it? And why did I select my first husband? And looking at what I wanted to manifest in the future. So even before I did that, I had to get very real with myself about who I was and find myself again. So going into a 4-year program where I started really taking a look at all of my shit. You know, all of my stuff. It took a lot of work before I could get to the place of like, oh, this is what I want. This is what I want to do. And I'm still taking a guess at it. We're all just guessing. You know?
As we figure it out as we go. Yeah, no, that's
what about
really
you?
Powerful. I think for me, it was really interesting. There's been different times in my life that have been these check-in points, and I didn't always like what I found when I checked in. I was like, oh, that's not even what I like. One of my spiritual counselors said, you have to stand in line for what you want. If you want ice cream, you don't stand in line for pizza. You stand in line for what you really want in life, and that helped me get clear, or at least think about getting clear. What do I really want? Which is a big question. And so I was a part of this wonderful group of women for a while that did a lot of work together in sisterhood and community. And that really helped me understand more about myself, because you can't hide who you really are when you're sitting in a circle with women who really love you and value you. And that really helped me also feel that I could very much claim what I wanted in life and to not play small and to not hold myself back and to say, but this is what I really want and I believe I can create it. I believe this can happen. So there's different points in life. I find that we have these check-in points and we say, well, what do I really want? Who am I right now? And do I really believe I can experience that and have it? So it's
I love that last question. Do I really believe it? Because you
Right.
can ask as long as you want.
Yes.
You can be curious, but until you start going, no, I deserve that.
Yeah.
And know that
Yes.
to your core, you're not going to receive it
Yes.
because you won't be open to it.
Right. And so that's that really solid self-worth, self-value part that I believe we continually work on throughout our lives, is that you really have to say, no, I deserve this. I am worthy of this. I am valuable. I am loved. And you really claim it for yourself. I think that's an important part of being on this spiritual journey and getting real with yourself, is really getting real with the fact that you can absolutely have anything you want as long as you really believe you are
Right,
of
because
it.
what happens is you get rid of all the toxic people and the situations in your life, because you're like, I remember like being in a couple of toxic friendships when I was married, and then afterwards I would never even imagine surrounding myself with people like that.
Huge.
I'd be like, what was I thinking? But in that perception, when I was there, I believed that's all I deserved. And then percentage-wise, I started getting better and better at going, no, I'm not even drawn to that anymore.
Yeah.
I don't need to be around people that treat me like that.
Yeah. No, I think that's an important point, is that when you are getting real, your relationships change in usually all areas of your life. The people you were close to, you're just not drawn to them as much anymore. You talked about your marriage changing and then all the people associated with that. It's like everything kind of shifts in a really fascinating way, because what you're doing is you're then calling in more people who meet you at your authentic self. And that's a pretty cool part of the journey too.
Well, and I will say, like, I've had a best friend for 25 years now.
Yeah.
And our relationship got better. So I don't want to scare people. A lot of people get scared of change, right?
That's true.
They're like, oh my gosh, I can't handle it. I have to, because, if you don't, like Maya talks about, when you know better, you do better.
Yes.
But it's a little scary to start doing better when you think you're going to lose people and you're still holding on.
Yes.
But there are, in fact, I believe from my experience, deeper relationships that can come from the existing people in your life if you get more real and believe you deserve that.
Yes.
Which is kind of nice.
And I think another good point to that is the fact that there's some people that you're only meant to go so far with, and that's the blessing, and that's perfect. And then you release them on their path, and they release you on yours, and then you meet new friends along the way. And so it's something where it's part of that change that can be uncomfortable, and we don't always want to, but you'll have these better friendships with people who really can understand you and who want to know you in these new ways.
Well, and I can't wait to talk about the sisterhood that way.
Yes.
Sisterhood for me is men and women. It's
Yeah.
the men that embody the feminine that are my friends,
Yeah.
and then all the women in my life. And I can't wait to talk about that
Yes.
because I'm actually still struggling with that. Sometimes when I need to let go of a friendship or I need to let go of something, it's still really hard for me because
Yeah.
I still have this belief about being loyal and working through
Yes.
things, which there is a balance. There's that balance. So
I'm so glad you brought that up because that's a very real part of this, and it's hard on my heart. The friends that I realized this isn't really working, or there's just not a connection, and I have that same idea too. Well, if I try harder, if we talk it out, or if I show up for lunch, or you feel like you can get wrapped into something, but the dynamics of sisterhood are so different right now on the planet. It's a really different time, I think, for female relationships because we're relating to each other in a more authentic, real way. And some people aren't there, and that's perfect. And some people are, and that's also perfect. So,
well, and I look at it like, and I've said this before, and people laugh, but it's like this ocean, right? So there or not, that's like a little more linear in my thinking, but there are places where I want to go deeper, like in the ocean, you go deeper with some people that I just can't.
Yeah.
And that I need to be okay with that.
Yeah.
So it's really all about me going, do I want this friendship? Do I want this
Yes.
sisterhood on this level? And then
Yes.
there's other people I can go really deep into some places, but others, it's like, go back off.
Right.
So really defining your values and getting real about what your needs are
Yeah.
in a relationship, I think is really important.
yeah, I love that. I love the analogy of the ocean. That's just
It
makes
helped
so
me
much sense. Yeah.
to understand myself a little bit better.
Yeah.
So
No, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's great. Yeah.
But I do want to also talk a little bit about a few tools that I've used to get real and that I'm writing about in my current book, which I'm really excited about. Yeah. And the first one we've already talked about, which is curiosity, which is a huge one.
Yeah.
To be curious. Little situations, large situations is beautiful because then that creates the second tool, which is awareness, which moves you into an awareness of what you're doing on any situation, whether it's you're in an argument with a supervisor or your husband or your partner, and then you go, oh, why did I do that? And then you go into the awareness piece. Wow, I do that all the time.
Yeah.
And then you can trust your intuition and check in with your gut on that third tool.
Yes.
And then going into a surrendering piece of what really is, getting real about what is. And then I believe, and only then, you can move into the more masculine traits, because we've explored the feminine, right? With all of those, which will be taking a look at it, getting real about the fact that you have choice in your life.
Always.
And the only way you can know you have choice in your life is if you get real about what is in your life and you understand your victimhood.
Yes. Right.
Right?
Powerful.
And then taking it
Huge.
into action and ownership is the last tool.
Yes.
Because you can't really take action unless you know that you have choice.
Right.
So those are the tools I use.
Yes. Oh, I
Daily.
think it's beautiful. I love the description of all of that. Some of my tools that I find is that, again, I get really quiet and just observe myself. I go into that being a self-witness and look at, okay, why did I say that, or why did I do that, or how do I need to look at this in a different way? Like say you're in a disagreement with somebody, or you're trying to figure something out, and you're looking at what you bring to the table. Well, if you were to step back and observe yourself, you could also observe, well, what are my other choices here? And that's so powerful, is understanding that we have this unconscious or subconscious programming to act in certain ways. But if you were to just pause and step back and observe yourself, you'd probably say, oh, I have other choices I can make
Isn't that
here.
great?
Yeah.
Instead of being reactive.
Right,
Yeah.
right, yeah. So I find that to be really powerful and also hard at times. I'm not always good at it.
No.
Not always good at it, but always working on it. Because I find that you see, it's like an angel sitting on a cloud looking down at you, telling you or showing you a perspective that you didn't notice before. So that's one of my best tools is practicing that detachment and the power of observation.
Pretty fabulous.
Yes. Good
So
stuff.
those are some tools we have for getting real. We hope that that's helped you, and we hope that you will email both of us to tell us any kind of thoughts you have, ideas, suggestions, because we'd love to continue the conversation, maybe do a follow-up in our next
Yes,
series.
love it.
What we've heard.
Yep.
So you can contact me at kelly@womenforone.com. And
You can contact me at Molly at consciousqueen.com. coolchic.com, and I am usually online or kind of close to being online.
Yeah, every day.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Right, yeah.
Except when you're having your baby.
That's right. Then I'll have maternity leave, so I'll ask for a pass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you everyone for joining us for our Getting Real series, and we can't wait to hear from you.
Thank you, everybody. Take good care, and we'll see you next time.